Alright guys, welcome back to one more Gran Turismo Sport video. On the last video, which is actually the first one that I've released about the game, we ran through all the options available in the demo right now. And now let's do some racing. Let's see. Let's set up a race in arcade mode just to see if there are any changes in the physics or any other aspects of the game that I was able to check out for myself during the beta period. In arcade mode, I don't know if that's available, if the tracks are the same across all different modes, but in the arcade mode you have the Northern Isle Speedway, you have the Dragon Trail, which was available in the beta. You have, I think, two different layouts, and you have Colorado Springs Lake, and there's another layout too. These two, I think, they were only available over a media event that Polyphony Digital held a couple months ago. It wasn't available in the beta, but these first two locations, the Northern Isle and the Dragon Trail, they were available in the beta. I kind of like the Dragon Trail a lot better, so let's go with this one. We were able to pick up the time of the day. Let's go for something more dramatic. Let's go with evening. And here we have a bunch of cars where we can choose from. We have the Mazda Roadster, Toyota 86 GT, Volkswagen Golf, Alfa Romeo 4C, BMW M4, Lexus RCF, Mercedes-Benz AMG GT3, and Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution Final Edition. Let's go with BMW. Here we have our color selection. I like this orange. So I'm not a very good at manual shifting, but why not? I've been trying to learn manual in Forza Motorsport 7, so let's try to keep things manual here in Gran Turismo as well. Now I know what those colored circles mean. They are basically the race difficulty, and the higher the difficulty, the higher your prize. So you're gonna get a lot more credits and a lot more experience. Let's start at professionals just to see. We're probably gonna be demolished by the AI, but I just want to see how difficult the game can be, because in Forza Motorsport 7 the AI at unbeatable, which is the highest difficulty available in the game, it's kind of unbalanced. There are races where you're able to win fairly easily, and some other ones are nearly impossible for you to place first. So that's really nice, this animation that they show you during the loading screen. Before they changed the menu actually. I kind of like the old one in the beta better. It was flatter. I think these icons look a little bit ugly. But anyway, we have manual. Let's turn off traction control. I want to see how the game feels at a raw setting. Driving line assist. Yeah, we have the cone markers which were present in the beta. Let's see how the driving line works. We have the brake indicator, no. Counter steering, no. ABS, I'm gonna leave at weak because it's a little bit difficult to brake cleanly in Gran Turismo games. So at least with the controller, I'm using the DualShock 4. Okay, video settings. Oh, yeah, okay. car settings, here we have the option to tune our car. I don't think that's gonna be possible in the demo. But you're basically gonna have two different setups, one for the road and another one for the drift, but the drift one is locked, so nothing we can do about it. I don't remember where my gear shifting buttons are in the controller, so I'm gonna have to figure that out once the race starts, so no biggie. Let's change the camera. Let me pause for a little bit, because I remember that in the beta we had the option to customize our camera. Yeah, I like to have a big car. I remember that you had the option to kind of revert back to how the camera used to be in Gran Turismo 3. And I don't remember which of these settings are. I don't remember if it's 1 or 0, but let's leave it at the most extreme one off to the left and see. And this is the chase view rotation. Let's play with the settings for a little bit. Okay. Okay, now I've already figured out the shifting button. At least the shifting down button. Okay, so yeah. The shifting up is the X button, and the shifting down is the square button. I can see that the driving line is very subtle. It doesn't show you where to brake. It's merely an indication of what the best line for you to take during the race is. So I think it's a little bit useless as it is, because the main point of you having a driving line is for you to have a proper braking point, fairly visible for you to use as a guide when you're racing. The car feels very, very heavy. But I'm not seeing some of that weight transfer being communicated to the controller, which in the beta that was a lot more evident. It was easier for you to know when you were going to lose control of the car, and I don't feel that in the controller. Maybe we need to mess up with the settings a little bit just to get an improved feel of the force feedback in the controller. But the car feels nice to drive. Actually, one of the things that really stood out to me right off the bat, as soon as I started playing the beta, was how much better the handling of the cars felt in the game. In Gran Turismo 5 and 6, at least for me, it felt like it was a constant struggle with the handling of the car. It wasn't, I don't know, some of the slower ones were fairly easy to control, but once you got to the quickest ones, it became nearly impossible for me to keep the car under control, at least with the assists off, except for ABS, which is something that I rarely ever turn off in a Gran Turismo game. I don't know, but that's something that has changed, and for the better. So kudos to Polyphony Digital for doing something different with the game. I just had a brain fart here. Yeah. it's a lot for me to process while talking. I need to drive, I need to shift, and I'm not used to any of this. But that's not about the driving itself. The car feels really. You can feel the weight of the car a lot more than you used to doing, in past Gran Turismo games. So that's good news. So let's see what the other options are all about. Let's set this one up to the far right, just to see how it feels. Let's see what different it makes. Oh, I see. So I don't know which one of these settings changed it for me, but the camera, it doesn't follow the car. It gets stuck in the middle, and I don't know. This camera feels like you're driving on rails. You don't have a lot of choice over the car movement, which might be a good thing for some people. But for me, I kind of like a little bit more movement. So let's go back to no, cockpit view, no. Let's leave this one in the middle just to see what it does. Yeah, the camera, it feels like it's not. It still feels a little bit on rails, but not as much as us setting it to the extreme as we had a couple seconds ago. So let me pause this again. Let me see. Let me drop it down to 0 just to get an effect, an idea of the effect. Oh man, that's awful. I don't know, when you have this option set to the extreme left, and you leave the other option at the extreme one, it feels like your car is rolling to the side. It's a really weird sensation. Let's go back there. Let me see. What? Maybe I need to be on a straight line? It's not letting me change that. Okay, so now let me change the chase view rotation axis offset. Okay, let's leave it at 1. Oh, now this one is playable. It's way more pleasant. Yeah, this is definitely more pleasant. I need to mess up with the settings just to find something that works for me. But for all intents and purposes of this video, I'm just doing this to show how the different settings change the way that the camera behaves in the race. Not too worried about my racing performance right now. Need to get used to it. Let me go back to the settings and change, maybe, let me change this to half. Yeah, this one kind of makes the car feels like it's on rails. So that's the one that's been causing this effect. Yeah, this one feels a lot more stable. One more thing that I like to, yeah, I forgot to shift down. One more thing that I like to try out is, let me, driving markers, maybe that's it. Ah, I see. So this one wasn't present in the beta. We had the cone markers, but this one, it kind of shows you the turning point of yeah, this is the actual turning point in the axis that sorry, axis, no, the apex that you need to take uh, on each corner, the way in, the way out of the corner. And so let's go back and change that. Let's add the cone markers just to see what it does. Yeah, the car, even though it's a lot more stable than in past games, it still feels a little bit oversensitive. So we might need to bump the ABS too strong in order to kind of put a damp on this effect. But yeah, overall, this is a game that feels a lot nicer than its predecessor. So that's good news for people who hated the old driving models. And I keep forgetting to shift down. I didn't see the cone markers, so let me turn off the driving markers. Let me turn off the driving line too, just to. Yeah, I don't see them. I don't know if it's a bug or if I'm missing something, but they're not here. There should be green cone markers as we had back in the beta. Yeah, we don't. Okay, so brake indicator was caused a little bit of a controversy because in one of the latest updates that they've released for the beta before they closed it for good, was the implementation of this brake indicator was basically a brake indicator message like flashing in the middle of the screen. And I don't know if they changed that. Let me. Oh no. So it's now it's at the bottom right. Yeah. Let me just check this one again. Yeah, I need to set up my controller better because I'm confusing the shifting up, shifting down button. But yeah, the braking indicator now shows right over the speedometer. So I think that's better than the old implementation. So we just finished the first race. We got a bunch of price credits, mileage points. We accumulated some distance, and we got 28 experience points. Prize money is rewarded based on your standing in a race. You can use this money to buy cars. So okay, so we know that the credits can be used to buy new cars. Mileage points. These points reflect how far you have driven. You can exchange these points for items in mileage exchange or use them to improve your car performance in car settings. So, okay, now I understand. These mileage points, while the price credits we can use to buy new cars, the mileage points can be used to buy upgrades. That's basically how it works. Okay, so daily workout. Complete your daily objectives. You will receive the gift. You will receive a gift card when you complete the driving marathon, driving 40, a little over 42 kilometers in distance. So that's pretty much the same as in the beta. In the beta, you had to drive over 42 kilometers before the end of the day, and then you would unlock a new car. You would be gifted a new car. So they're gonna keep the system in here. So that's awesome news. I believe that this is one of the things that gives you a reason to keep playing the game. You have stuff to look forward to. But at some point in the beta, you started unlocking repeat cars. So I don't know how they're gonna handle that once you reach a certain threshold. maybe they're gonna start giving out upgrade parts or customization pieces for your character. I don't know. We're gonna need to wait for the full release and to be able to confirm that. Experience. You can receive driving experience points as a reward. Earn experience to increase your level and get access to features like new tracks in arcade mode. Okay, so these experience points basically unlocks features like new tracks and I believe more stuff when the full release is out. We also need to wait for the full release in order to be able to understand how this is all gonna work. But that was just a brief, not a really brief because the video is over 15 minutes long. But this has been a brief overview of the options that you have for customizing the camera and customizing the options, the assists in race. It's good to see that you can now customize these things on the fly rather than having to back out to the main menu to change those. It's great. It's a great change. We're gonna be checking out a lot more stuff over these next 4 days, so stick with me. Hit the like button if you like the video. Share the video with your friends and on social media because it helps me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel for more Gran Turismo Sport content. That's gonna be a lot of racing game content over the next couple of months because we have a great lineup of games that just keeps coming out. First with Forza Motorsport, now with Gran Turismo. The next month we're gonna have Need for Speed Payback, and early next year we're gonna have The Crew 2. So we have a lot of content coming over the next few months. So that's been it. I hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye.